This can all be over. All the deplatforming can end. Just cry out that the World Health Organization and their merciful messengers at YouTube and Twitter are super awesome.
The WHO is super awesome. The WHO is super awesome. The WHO is super awesome.
Just cry out that YouTube has, been really cool about all of this. Just say it, Crowder.
Dear God, just say it.
Come on, man. The band comedian wishes to say a word.
Oh, that is gross. That is gross.
Why?
That is tepidly warm tea. Green tea. What is that you Tokunawan people call it? Is that I guess I'm really getting that umami?
No,
I made that.
That mouthfeel?
Earthiness.
That slime?
Earthiness,
Yeah.
Try.
Earthy. Tastes like dirt.
Yeah, it tastes like ectoplasm. All right. Hey, we have a great big... Sorry, there's a weird opening. We did a 4.5-hour stream yesterday. What do you want from us? And then we all stayed up late for Get Your Tampax Pearls Ready. Big Red Wave.
Whoa! What?
Big Red Wave.
That's a good thing.
Men can red wave too. So, just ask Pete Bucking.
Yeah. Come on.
No. Red wave, leave. It's a thing.
Only happened once.
Chest feeding on his period.
Come on, the Nordic countries got it right. So we have a lot to discuss today, and we also have a package where I went on location down to an area of color in Dallas. I believe I'm using the term correctly.
Okay.
And asked them about vaccines and masks, and the answers may surprise you, or if you've been paying attention, not at all. We're going to be talking about the election.
I like the not at all.
Yeah. We'll be talking about the elections that have been going on. Too close to call, some of them.
Right.
As opposed to Arizona, which was called with, I believe, 0.2% of the vote in.
Called faster than the New York City mayoral race.
I think that's how Fox News called Arizona. It said, did Bob vote? All right, we're going to put it on the board.
There's his own Republican there.
Everyone will hate this who watches our shows.
Yes. Yeah.
You'll do great.
Can we just make sure that everyone despises us?
Yeah. CNN was bending over backwards not to call Virginia last night.
Yeah. You know what? While we're doing it, can we
Arizona.
put up a Newsmax billboard behind me? All right, so we'll be talking about a lot of this, and I do want to hear from you guys. And of course, we are available on Rumble. Sorry, we're late today. We had to import some big files and make sure we're still checking on some counties in New Jersey.
Yeah,
we wanted to be right with the info. So before we get to all of that, Gerald A., how are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Good. Did you recover from the 4.5 hour stream?
I did. I washed it down with a victory drink last night after Virginia.
What's victory? Is it a wine?
Virginia.
Oh,
some kind of special.
I thought victory was a type of wine.
Liquid?
No. Well, I mean, sure. They have that.
Because you're an affected prick. All right.
I was going to ask how you are. You know what? Screw you. How are you, Dave?
I washed it down with a nice old cup of barefoot. By the way, don't use plastic glasses. They melt.
Stop it with barefoot.
Quarter Black Garrett, how are you? Oh, no.
Huh? What?
Oh, jeez.
It's too
He's
early.
tired from being disenfranchised with the vote.
Oh,
He flew to New Jersey just to be disenchanted. You showed up to the poll. I'm disenchanted. What?
So disenchanted.
Yes. You have ignored me at your own peril. Like, what are you talking about? I'm black. How are you, sir?
It's a surprise. I'm doing good.
Yeah, doing well.
Excited about the red wave.
Yeah.
What?
Red wave.
yeah.
Red
I can
wave.
say terms too.
Hopefully, it's from now on the red wave always with wings.
right?
And all right, Dave Landau
Ahoy.
is at the Cotillion, Wichita, Kansas, on November 11th,
Oh.
and this weekend in Philadelphia. How are you?
Ahoy. I'm good. Please come out, Philly. Come out, witchy.
Yeah, come out. Give Dave a red wave there.
A little bit.
Put a towel down.
Yeah, please put a towel down,
geez.
because
Yeah,
that
it's
will ruin my white sofa.
It's your fault
White
for having.
cotton is just not a...
Oh, that's right. The thing about the Cotillion in Wichita, Kansas, is it's in his basement.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's correct.
That's what you call your den.
Yes, it is. It's the
More of a man cave, really.
Cuddletillion.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So, by the way, if you were watching this on YouTube, I'm going to ask you first off to hit that like button, okay? And I just want you to know, hit it. The issue is this show is available Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Today, obviously, we had to start a little late to get some election info correct. We don't want to have one of those calling Arizona fiascos.
No.
But if you tune in here on YouTube, and it's not here, for those who are watching on YouTube, go over to Rumble. Of course, you can join MugClub, where today we'll be doing, they don't make them like they used to, Blazing Saddles edition, which, of course, we
Very
did not.
spicy.
I love it.
And promo code
Spicy.
Fight Like Hell, $20 off MugClub. Okay. Now, before we get to the election, this is something which will undoubtedly be false copyright struck on YouTube from the producers at Colbert. They've been gunning for us for weeks.
Every time. They don't like us in Japan.
They do not like us in Japan.
Why?
Well, it's the people at CBS. Did you know this, Dave? The people at CBS, the producers and their lawyers, they
Yes.
use the strict speech laws in Japan to get our videos that critique Colbert banned in Japan, and I think some places in South
A
Korea.
little weird.
Are these Les Moonvez's attorneys? Do you
Yes.
remember that CBS guy?
Yes, I do.
Who had sex with everyone?
Yes, he did.
Against their will?
Well,
Yeah.
he wanted to leave them with a smile on their face.
Well, I'm just glad they're moral.
Yeah.
And money in their pockets.
Yeah, I mean, really, these are the people who ban it in Japan. There's not a pandemic of people in Japan like, where is the penny at? The Stephen brother. He critique a Colbert, not our Colbert. Japan is a Colbert country.
It looks first world, but they'll still take a rake to poke you onto the subway. Like that's when you
love
just go, that's not America.
Well, he was a Kimmel fan.
Ow.
He's a Colbert country. To the rail.
Get to the subway.
And it's always really uncomfortable when the guy shoves in Japan. Have you seen these where they shove them into the subway?
Yes.
But they put on their Rising Sun bandana and they just tackle them.
Oh, well.
Yeah, all the time.
It's tradition.
I did that in New York to
A little
many
sake,
people.
you know, have some sake.
I've had
Do it.
too much methamphetamine in front of C-Train. Go!
They're all gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Cluttered in like that.
I don't think that's.
All right, let's watch and react first to the wonderful comedy coming from the left. Stephen Colbert is back with more vaccine propaganda. Here we go, Dave. Oh, Paw Patrol. I have kids
Hey,
now, so I know
Ryder,
that.
I'm
Yes.
sick. Gonna stay in bed today.
Marshall, you realize this is a video call,
Why are
right?
they laughing?
Yeah.
I do.
It's a track.
Marshall,
I meant to say I can't come in because I'm taking my dog to the vet.
you are a dog. Is this about your rabies shot?
He's an anti-vaxxer.
I'm
Oh,
not
boy.
taking it. I don't want my balls to swell up like Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend's carrier.
Marshall, it's
kinda funny.
neutered.
Yeah,
They're trying.
What have I been licking?
Adventure Bay
fine.
needs your help. You gotta get vaccinated.
Screw Adventure Bay. I'm not getting vaccinated. What's the worst that could happen?
Nothing.
And now it turns.
Yeah, there we go. For a dog.
Got it, Mr. Finch. He's got the rabies.
That's pretty, Look, here's the thing. I appreciate that they're trying.
gosh.
But how many writers? 42 at Colbert? Just compare that to the Braveheart intro that we just ran.
Yeah, put a little effort.
You just shot the Paw Patrol dog.
I know.
What are kids going to think about?
Poor Marshall.
Well, I don't think kids are watching Colbert considering his median viewer is 74. It's just someone who still left the TV on after the Jack LaLanne juicer commercial.
Why didn't they shoot the cop dog? Don't they dislike cops?
I don't understand.
That's true.
They also
logic doesn't
dislike
seem-
Atticus Finch.
That's true.
They say it's the white savior complex. So the point is, none of that works, but it's still better than, what was it? Vaccine. What was it?
the dancing
needle.
Vaccine.
Totally straight needle.
Yeah, it was almost as good as that.
Yeah. There's a bent needle, which, by the way,
it
if you
was.
find one of those
Hard.
needles, discard it.
Definitely don't share that needle.
No.
Not the guy on the left.
Yeah, they got the needle from Rent.
Oh,
So, and my question, look,
it's a lot of AIDS.
we're going to get into the... I saw Rent,
Yeah.
and I was just sitting there like, what?
You're sitting there coughing.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this? I feel sick.
You're all having sex with each other, and you know that they have AIDS, and you're using dirty needles, and you're not expecting AIDS.
And you're singing.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the weird part.
Can somebody make a song about how not
Yeah.
to get AIDS? Because it's
I
pretty
think I can
simple.
fix this whole situation.
Yeah.
you
That's
got
why I
going
just love Team America. Just AIDS, 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 AIDS. Everyone has AIDS.
I want that Seasons of Love to be a countdown clock as to how many minutes they have left, so I know when to cork the champagne.
We don't want to catch AIDS. Come
Right,
on.
Captain Planet. Foyle was right.
Yeah,
what do you
in
think?
facts.
Let me ask this. You can comment below too. Before we're gonna, there's some interesting demographic shifts that have taken place here just in 1 year. But what do you think? Before I get to it, caused the Republican wave in places like Virginia, and even if New Jersey is too close to call right now, they're saying win, lose, or draw. That's a big change for New Jersey. So you need to see that. And of course, we are going to assume, of course, that these are all the safest and most secure elections in our history
Ever.
and compare it to the most secure election in our history with Donald Trump. So again, the demographics and the numbers that we're using assume that those are authoritative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we good?
I think we're clear.
I think everything is legit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look,
Safe and secure.
what do you think? Do you think the Democrats are going to pull the old Scroogey in Jersey?
No, come on.
Please.
Jersey?
Has there ever
Ridiculous.
been any sort of
No.
crime in the New Jersey area?
The same state that has managed to cover up for 2 decades that Cory Booker's gay?
He's gay?
They covered that up.
No.
Oh, no, I just...
Hey.
Him and Stelter are reviving the Rotary Club. So, this past week,
Oh, is that what
sorry,
they call it?
Elks Lodge.
Ah.
Yeah, Elks.
Oh, elk.
I need to make sure I get them right.
Mixing it
The
up.
difference is wood paneling.
Elks
That's
are
about
good.
it. Yeah.
Is ELK mean erection, licks, and kisses?
Yes, it does.
Jeez.
What,
Yes,
too
it
early?
does.
Too early, guys? I'm sorry.
Just did Paw Patrol, Dave. Jeez.
4 women.
Paul?
Okay,
They
so
shot
this past week,
Marshall.
this brings us to our do we have the original clip? of
Yeah.
him? Okay, so this is actually, because we have an exclusive.
Yeah.
But for people who haven't seen this, the former vice president embarrassed the United States at the I need to make sure it's COP26 climate summit, because I keep wanting to say COPD.
Well, yeah, that's...
I just saw C-3PO.
Yes.
And stopped reading.
Oh no, he's falling asleep again. Yes, that's the sound he makes. So,
I'm an effeminate British bot.
yes, I am a bot who likes to have sex with Boba Fett.
More charisma than your leader.
R2, get the Astroglide.
Oh, no.
I have a Doritos commercial to film. So,
3 beeps means yes.
yes. 0 beeps means
Yes.
No matter what you hear,
I don't know what he
hear,
speaks.
yes.
All I know is
Yes.
I'm going in.
Come on, man.
yes, 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 yes. Okay. So here's the video of Joe Biden, and they don't even address this, the leftist media. This is why he's clearly falling asleep, and I don't even mean like a cat nap. This son of a bitch should wake up with a beard. Here you go.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
There's the first time.
And I guess I shouldn't apologize, but I do apologize for the fact the United States, the last administration pulled out of the Paris Accords and put us sort of behind the eight ball. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Now, I didn't want to show you the entire clip of him falling asleep because
it's long.
It's like
clip.
9 minutes.
He got into REM sleep. He was dreaming, man.
He got into REM.
Yeah, it's really.
It's like
It was an inception night for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was giving the hare a run for his money.
Wow.
Just getting passed by turtles.
Growing up with a stillskin beard.
Slow and steady wins the race. No, I think for the former vice president, it's slow and yeah.
Slow.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes. Oh wait. I mean, he's vulnerable.
What do you think he dreams about? Like he just sees a white light and then wakes up?
Yeah.
Every single day.
Every time.
It's too slow to get to it.
No, Davey, dreams about being president.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
What it would be like if he actually was.
He wakes up. He's like, oh, I had the most wonderful dream. He sees Kamala. You were there. And Major's just biting the black maid. He's like, and you were there.
Shoot him.
Dogs hate that administration.
I know.
It's official.
They do. All right. So this is actually, I know that he's always wearing an earpiece, too. A lot of people don't know that events like this. And we do have our plants. We do some investigative journalism. And we have exclusive audio from the COPD Climate Summit where former Vice President Joe Biden fell asleep.
Okay, hang in there, Mr. Former Vice President. Only 1 hour left. Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. Okay. Sir, wake up. Sir, wake up. Okay, thank God. Oh, Joe. Joe, wake up. Joe, wake up, Joe. Wake up, Joe. For the love of God, wake up. All right, do the thing. You're a disgrace to this country. Wake up. Why don't you put a little makeup?
Mr. Former Vice President, we have a problem. The Depends Fit Flex you requested are on back order, so I could only order the Protection Plus, but they're only available in medium. Medium.
No medium.
Okay, then I'll just order the standard night defense, but you'll need to wear your boxers.
That is an accurate Depends order. Check out the website.
You think he just
did research
dreaming about logs?
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, he's dreaming about ants on a log. Celery. Come on, peanut butter. Come on.
It's great. Some
Raisins.
Come on.
Crunchy? No. Smooth. It's
Calorie negative.
A crunchy could kill me.
Yeah. Gets caught in my pouch.
Oh. My gizzards. My gizzards are filled with chunky peanut butter.
Oh no, his gizzards are full again. We must perform the Heimlich.
Come on, R2.
I do it slowly. Yes.
Most popular.
Shut up.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't spoil it. Yes. All right.
More votes than anybody in history, Steve.
More votes than anybody in history.
More
Most popular president in history, without a doubt.
81 million legitimate votes.
I believe the last count was 150 million.
Well, it's recounts and more mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballots, 2 a.m.
Oh, I forgot the coolers.
Yeah, I'm glad we waited.
Isn't it funny that if you stay up until 2 a.m., you still don't see the vote switch?
No.
In other words, that would be a conservative estimate. Like, hey, yeah, you know what? I stayed up until 2 a.m. and I feel pretty good that this is... No. 3 and 4 a.m. That's the magic ticket, fellas. That's when the most secure votes come in.
Yeah.
I just always remember as a kid, I'd be at a hockey game or something, and I'm just looking up at the TV.
Yeah.
And they had everything set by 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Well,
9:30.
Well, with the advent of, all these fancy computers, we've gotten worse at counting.
Yeah, somehow.
Isn't it amazing?
I mean, but basically by 4 o'clock, Mondale was on a plane to anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I lost.
Yeah, he's like, come on, let's just.
I voted in my home
midnight plane going
anywhere. And in his case, Belize. All right. So last night, let's get into the recap here.
Yeah.
The Virginia governor race was called for the Republican Glenn Youngkin. This is a big deal in Virginia because Virginia, they've been saying, has been going increasingly blue. And the same thing, obviously, with New Jersey. But the interesting thing is some of the demographic shifts as to why Youngkin won. And it's something that, look, I am going to issue some harsh criticism here to the people who actually need to use Tampax and always. You know what I mean? I'm not without empathy.
Thank you.
Of course, when the Republican won and it was called, the leftist pundits were not, it was like they stared at the Ark of the Covenant.
And the exit polls showed that which was interesting, that the coronavirus or that the virus was a very
low
was not importance to many of the voters there.
It
was education,
what a surprise.
which is code for white parents don't like the idea of teaching
Yes.
about race.
Oh,
White
continue
voters
calling
went
them
50%
racist.
for Biden, 49%
Please.
for Trump. In this election, per the exit polls, they're going 57-43 for McAuliffe. That is not macro. That's issues. With education being the number one thing on the minds of these voters, that means that Terry McAuliffe lost a very specific messaging war on race.
First of all, it's not over. You do have the grassroots folks out there fighting for this on the Democratic Party side. The stakes are high. When this election is over in Virginia, we will know. Have we seen the emergence of the Delta variant of Trumpism? The Delta variant of Trumpism. In other words, Youngkin,
so clever.
Same disease, but spreads a lot faster. It can get a lot more places.
Hey, by the way, just for people out there, if you guys can pitch in, like we did with Hurricane Harvey, New Jersey has a supply chain shortage for printing toner.
That's the stupidest thing I've heard.
Delta variant.
The Delta variant.
Is it the Trumpism?
He was sitting there writing it, and he was like Ralphie with his writing his paper, his term paper about wanting a Red Rider. He was like, Delta variant. Man, that's great.
I'm going to ask Wendy to go steady.
I'm so smart.
Aww. I love how she said education.
Yeah.
I'm like, because only white parents
Which
care
is
about
code
educating
for...
their kids?
No, it's not.
Is that
It's
is that what you're
education.
saying?
We care about our kids.
No,
What a surprise.
please. Let's let them continue. By all means, continue accusing the moms who are involved with their children's education of being racist.
Yes.
That will sway them.
And all the black moms out there that just absolutely don't care about education because it's code for white supremacy.
Oh, which, by the way, going back to the Rittenhouse thing, before we move on with the governorships,
Yeah.
I saw the left complaining. We were talking about this. That there was only one black juror.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think that is? The prosecutor, I guarantee you, was dismissing people of color faster than they could come. Do you really think that you are going to get black people on that jury, in that jury pool, who are going to be empathetic to a ginger serial pedophile who repeatedly yelled the N-word? For crying out, you think they want to snitch on that guy?
Like, I know the quote's coming up. We got to get him out.
Yeah. What did Kyle Rittenhouse shoot black guys?
No, I didn't shoot black guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
no,
so-
just at first, that's what they told you.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's true.
Because you read the transcript and you're like, well, you said the N-word. Obviously, this
be.
this wouldn't be a ginger pedophile. That wouldn't make any sense.
No way.
So, anyway.
Soulless ginger.
Soulless ginger. Well, maybe I guess that's why.
Well, the gingers in general, all gingers are soulless.
See, that's just bigoted.
No, it's true. I mean, you haven't read that?
I have read curves.
I wouldn't
in
go
my
around
beard.
advertising that quarter black Garrett. Okay.
I'm going to grow a stash.
So Virginia, this is important. Youngkin flipped Chesapeake, Montgomery, Norfolk counties from 2020. Now, keep in mind, this is not even a midterm.
Yeah.
So here's what's interesting. There has been a change, notably. What killed Donald Trump? He made gains with black voters. He made gains with Latino voters. He lost suburban white women.
Yeah.
So women, look, this is a step in the right direction. I will say this: a lot of conservative women out there. First, you need to clean ranks. You do, because a lot of these problems that you see that women are facing now come from feminism and come. And I'm going to do an extended segment on this. Also, these tentacles go into their dating pool. They go into their home life. They go into women's sports now. This all comes from leftist feminism, and guess what? The chickens have come home to roost. You have biological men in women's sports because of women and feminism. You have radical agendas in school because of women and feminism. You have men who are playing the dating game and not marrying because of women and feminism. They've changed their expectations so much of what they want from men and what they want from society, and guys still want the same things that they wanted before the sexual revolution, to be clear. And this is a lot of women coming home, to use the term here, saying, oh, wow, I need to have some control over what happens with my children. That's why education is a big issue here. And it's not just critical race theory, which you say is imaginary, and these people are actually living and presenting receipts with the books and the curriculums. It's also their kids have been locked down indefinitely. Their kids have been forced to wear masks, which do not come without their own consequences. And there are a lot of people who flipped because of that. This is overreach from the Democrats. So women out there who are tired of it, please, men cannot, just like men cannot solve the problem of biological men beating the hell out of women in women's sports, because all men opposed it. Men in women's bathrooms, men opposed it. Men in women's sports, men opposed it. Women overwhelmingly supported it. And you said you have a penis, you can't have an opinion. So women out there, strong women, we need you now to use this momentum. Because women with Donald Trump, for example, 38% is what he got. Youngkin got 47%.
Hey,
that's nice.
White women with some college or less, Trump got 56%. Youngkin got 75%.
That's a huge shift, yeah.
Women with children, Trump got 43%, Youngkin got 46%, which actually surprised me. Independent voters, Trump got 38%, Youngkin got 54%.
That's a big jump.
That's a big jump. And I'm not saying that this means Youngkin is better than Donald Trump by any means. What I am saying is there's been a shift with so much over. I don't think we've ever lived in a time in the history of this country with more monumental, life-altering changes in the past year, and most Americans don't like it, and they see where it's going. But by all means, please keep accusing these people who voted for your folks before of being racist. Yeah, Joe.
I think what they're seeing, too, is that Donald Trump may have been brash. He may have come across as kind of this caustic figure.
Yeah.
But he wasn't wrong. That's the thing. So somebody now is presenting the message in a way that you can actually tolerate, and you're seeing the decisions that he was trying to keep us from having to go towards, right? So he was trying to keep us from doing these things. You're seeing those decisions now have consequences. That's what's happening right now.
And assuming, of course, the most safe, secure election in history, that these numbers about Trump are correct.
Yes.
I do think, to be fair, there was definitely some Trump fatigue, even from some Republicans.
Yes.
And I think this shows you, because this is people who said he was a Trumpist. This shows you that the ideas from Donald Trump, and if Donald Trump were to be more disciplined, that these ideas are way more popular now. Again, I've always said this about sort of Generation Z, and I was wrong, but certainly you see it with a lot of other people. Look at the baby boomers, and you see it even more with millennials now. They had, for example, Carter and Reagan. They had that contrast, and that's when you create a generation of conservatives. We didn't really have that contrast with George W. Bush. Wasn't a conservative. Was a big government sort of Republican. Barack Obama, right? Then you have Donald Trump in the pandemic, and you have former Vice President Joe Biden. There's a clear contrast now, and people are saying, this is the wrong direction. It's a repudiation of that. This is a big deal. Education, it's not a dog whistle.
No.
It's a thing. It's a thing that affects a lot of Americans. And remember, this was where he lost the election. Remember when McAuliffe said parents shouldn't be able to have input or tell teachers what to teach? Here you go.
And I'm not going to let parents come into schools and actually take books out and make their own decisions.
You vetoed it.
So, I stopped the bill that I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach.
Yeah. First off, even if you believe it, you don't say it that way.
That's your children are ours.
You know the fastest way to piss off women? Everyone here has a wife.
Yeah.
Is tell her what she should do.
Yeah, tell them how to be a mom.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
From a guy.
Should. You do that, you should the bed. Okay, it doesn't work with women. I learned that. I've even learned to avoid that word where I go, hey, baby, honey, sweetie, buttercup, baby. I say, it might be a better idea, or it may be more helpful if not. Should have used the 409 on that toilet pole. Looked like a 60-minute special, babe. I'm just saying.
It's going to get you in trouble every time.
So,
whatever. I got nothing.
84% of Virginians said that parents should have at least some input into what schools are teaching. And it's no surprise, obviously, that Youngkin made some gains in heavily suburban areas. I mean, this is the issue, right? Donald Trump made gains with black and Latino voters. Those gains seem to be holding steady. And now suburban White suburban voters have returned to the Republican Party, and now white suburban women, which is new. That is new. And that's a good thing. And so, women, I'm going to ask you, please, women, just comment below if you're, we actually have a significant amount of women who watch this show.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised when I go through the comments. There's a ton of them in there.
Because generally speaking, women, if you look at demographics for any late night comedy shows, it's made up of largely young men.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you believe the solution is, or what you think women can do to continue this momentum. This is a big shift. Why did women part ways under the era of Trump, and why are they coming back? I have a penis, so I can't have an opinion.
Well, and also on this, the lieutenant governor, I believe, also was a Republican, a black female, won in Virginia. I know. We go from Governor Blackface to
she must be one of those token lieutenant governors.
She doesn't.
She's an uncle lieutenant governor,
something like that. I think they also won the state legislature in Virginia, so it's not like this.
I think it was 50 in the House of Delegates, right?
I don't remember. Oh, there's the side by side.
Look at that trigger discipline.
Hey,
but you know what? Really,
someone call her onto Alec Baldwin's next set. We don't care if she's union.
She'll probably know if the gun has a bullet in it.
You would think so.
Wait, you can say bullet, and I can't say bullet?
That's because
what's up with that?
Well,
I'm
white.
white.
Can say bullet.
You can say belay.
So look, this is the transgender policy, critical race theory.
Yeah.
Loudoun County. This is important. Remember, this is the one where a girl was raped, and there was another girl who was sexually assaulted by a boy in a skirt. What are you going to do now, YouTube? Boy in a skirt who fooled enough people to take advantage of the transgender bathroom policy. Loudoun County. Donald Trump lost that county by 25. Youngkin won it by 10.5. That's a 30-point. Am I doing the math right? 30-point split. Someone call Choi. We'll have him do it.
Yeah, he's just in the other room yelling the answer.
Yes.
What's wrong
He
with
said he's not a math.
Do you see that switch?
Yeah, it's a huge switch. So
He's a
we
drum
talked
Asian.
about we talked about the suburbs, right? And we talked about getting out into the rural areas, right? Suburbs, that's a surprise a little bit in some of these cases, but some of these counties, like the cities, the switch was massive.
Yeah.
You don't even have to win those counties. You just have to take 20, 30,000 votes and flip them, and that's what he did.
And that's what we'll get to in discussing New Jersey in a little bit, because a lot of people were surprised. I believe Atlantic County in New Jersey went for the Italian name that I can't pronounce, the non-Murphy Republican.
Citronella.
And
it's not that.
Great at repelling
That's
mosquitoes.
Close.
Wait, sorry, one quick point on this. Youngkin, he lost by 10.5.
Oh, he lost by 10.
He closed that gap.
He closed that gap.
15-point gap.
Yeah, I apologize. Same thing he did, because I was going to say he did lose Fairfax County, but by 29 as opposed to Trump losing by 41.
That's massive. So wait a minute.
You're right. Yeah, I misread that completely. I hit that admonish button.
Oh,
how the hell did I get that one wrong? I deserve it. Admonish me in the comment section. I'm going to ratchet down the spike garter.
Right. So you're telling me that he did better with independents, significantly better.
Yes.
He did better with women.
Yep.
White women, suburban, whatever, women, period.
Speaking of white women, that's a big trend today under share.
Hey.
Nice.
What?
If that were accurate,
white
it should
ladies
read
at?
share and homosexuals.
Why?
Right there between.
Her fans are mainly white women and homosexuals.
They're entirely homosexuals.
Yeah,
When I criticized
entirely.
Cher,
Almost.
a man on Twitter
Allegedly.
said, "You will never accomplish as much as Cher. You will never accomplish all this." And I, hand to God, sent me a picture, tweeted me a picture of his Cher wall.
Oh boy.
Oh, so he's sane.
Yeah.
He's just sitting on a white horse.
Wants to wear Cher's skin like a suit.
Oh, yeah.
He's Mel Gibson. in
Half
Conspiracy Theory,
breed.
No, and then, so we're doing better, and then we're doing better in Democrat stronghold counties.
So yeah, there was a 12
Insane.
points almost made up in Fairfax County. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of these that have happened. They won, like I said, lieutenant governor, attorney general elections.
Yeah.
And this is not just, by the way, it's not just Virginia. This has happened all over the country. So in Minnesota, it was in Minneapolis, voters rejected a ballot measure to defund the police.
No,
remember the city
good.
council? Not long ago, I believe I don't remember which city councils. I'm pretty sure it was
Why?
Minneapolis.
They
I don't know if it was
say
Minneapolis
that.
or St. Paul. They voted to defund the police.
Nobody cares about St. Paul.
Yeah.
Did something happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. What?
And this is something interesting, too. I want to get to New Jersey quickly because we have to assume safe and secure.
Assume.
Which then begs the question, safe and secure, why the flip at 3 a.m.? So, and I tweeted out yesterday, I am going to bed, of course, not expecting a vote flip. Now, it's Murphy, Citarelli, I hope, Ciatarelli, I don't give it.
I don't.
Citarelli.
No offense.
You got to say what it is.
Hey, yeah, if you do that,
Italians
you're like,
don't
hey,
care. Come on.
So,
Joey Citarelli.
yeah.
Have a Citarelli.
So they're saying it's too... Magabagook. They're saying it's too close to call.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, because the mail-in votes in Essex, the votes we're going to get from Essex County, these are all going to be, of course, Murphy, and so he'll probably win. Here's the thing about that. They're basing that on projections with New Jersey, not on the performance. So just like with transgender bathroom policies or critical race theory, right? The Democrats, their strategy is don't believe your lion eyes and lion ears.
Yeah.
Don't believe what's going on in a school library. Don't believe what's going on in a school classroom. Right now, they're saying don't believe what you're seeing across New Jersey, where the results have come in distinctly blue counties. Our projections say that at 3 a.m., Essex County is going to flip the race. Here's the thing. Murphy's been underperforming in other blue counties. So, for example, he won Atlantic County in 2017 by 12 points. He's losing now by 12 points.
Wow.
There's a big shift when you look at a lot of these counties in New Jersey. So why would you assume that there's going to be such a wide gap in Essex County? That's the issue that I have. And something else. Remember, this is something, Dave, you were covering, because you're from Detroit, you were covering this live when they called Wayne County for Detroit. They called Detroit Wayne County for Trump. Here's the thing. Before that, you can go back to all our live streams, and this is the value of doing a live stream. Right, everyone else edits it and they try and make themselves look better afterwards. I just had to admonish myself.
It happens.
I'll do it
You
again.
saw us in real time living through it. And before the election, they all said, now we expect the mail-in votes to be overwhelmingly Biden.
Yeah.
The night of the election in Detroit, this was not new information. Having taken that into account in Wayne County, they still ran the numbers and said it's such an overwhelming gap that even with the mail-in ballots, they called it for Trump.
Yes, they did. Left-wing media called it for Trump.
Yes.
So it was a sure thing. And then, but people forgot that there was a cooler of camera equipment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that had
Allegedly.
The real red wagons.
Listen, I didn't say
no.
I said a camera equipment.
Hey, you know what? They brought in an autofocus lens and 160,000 votes switched.
Listen, we're on to you. Let's go, Brandon. People.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we get
exactly.
it.
What are you,
people are
Southwest
horrible.
pilot?
Yes,
Watch it.
Let's go, Brandon.
Think about that for a second. So they knew that, said even with the mail-in ballots, they're calling it for Donald Trump. And then afterwards, when it switched, they said, well, the mail-in ballots. You already called it knowing the mail-in ballots.
Yep.
That's what's happening right now. Similarly, they're going, all right, well, look, okay, well, oh my gosh, that's a 20-point difference from 2017 here to Republicans in Atlantic County. No one thought that would go. There are a bunch of other counties, which I'm sure we can find. We don't have all of the numbers in, but significantly, the Democrat was underperforming projections, but they're saying our projections for Essex County, that's going to be so overwhelmingly Murphy that, it's in the bag for Murphy.
Right.
No, I don't trust you. And I also, look, can we have a due date? Can we have a due date on the votes?
It would work.
Is that too much to ask as an American?
Yeah.
I mean, how little do Democrats think of their voting base? Like, well, hold on a second. People don't have time. We have to post date it, through Black Friday. Wait, hold on. Why? Well, people don't, what, they have time to be licking stamps or no stamps? Licking envelopes.
Come on.
So there's some really interesting things, and I'm not going to get too
How about
deep.
before midnight?
Yeah.
We'll treat it like Gizmo from Gremlins.
Yes,
There you
exactly. Yes. And
Don't
don't
give
get the
it
ballots.
anything after
Don't get the
midnight.
ballots wet.
Yes, you don't want to.
Then they
It
multiply.
smears, and then it says Biden.
Yeah.
None of
Would
these
you like
rules make
a
any
vote and a
sense.
schmear?
So in the New Jersey race right now, there's some interest in a particular county. It's either Bergen County. I don't know if there's a second R.
Delicious.
Thank you. At midnight, the county clerk's office, Bergen, thank you. The county clerk's office basically said, look, 100% of the precincts have reported in. The Republican had, I think, 51 and change percent. The Democrat had 47. Everybody woke up this morning and that number had switched.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of concern. Now they're saying basically, oh, no, 100% of the precincts have reported in, but we haven't counted the mail-in ballots yet.
Then don't say 100%.
And so now it goes back to like we have CNN saying,
But
oh,
that's
there's
not
only
what you
86.
said.
There's only 86% in, and I'm like, guys, look and we'll dig into this a little bit further. I know there's a lot of people out there with interest into finding out what's going on there. If you're trying to come off of 2020 and make sure that you put people in kind of a place of comfort with their election system in a state, you don't do something like that. You come up with like all of the precincts for in-person voting have come in. We haven't counted the mail-in ballots yet, but this is the whole point that we talked about. I was looking at numbers live on our live stream of Donald Trump. He was outperforming himself from 2016.
That wasn't even close.
And a lot of these things. And I kept doing the math, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, he's kicking his own ass.
I know.
He's kicking his own ass.
And then he lost.
He was like time cop president.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're not instilling confidence in people when you do stuff like that. So we're going to
let's just blame them for mistrust in the institutions.
Right.
That's what happens. The left goes, I can't, but well, it's the problem, sowing all this doubt is Republican lies. No. We were following your sites and your news streams, and you switched it. We weren't watching Fox News.
No, and we were following what you said circa 2016, 2017, 2018 about the election system and its potential problems that maybe could possibly
fixed
happen,
it in
supposedly.
2019.
The issue is this. If you can say 100% and then say, no, we didn't mean 100%. If you can say, all right, well, it needs to be by election day. Sorry, we meant post-dated 2 weeks from election day. If you can say, all right, we're going to create this new unconstitutional law in Pennsylvania as it relates to mail-in voting. If you can do all of that, you cannot expect Americans to have trust in the integrity of the institution of our elections. This was, so I have to be careful, banned on YouTube when I called someone in Nevada. Called an official and said, this is an address. This is where we lasered in on one. This is one address. This person is not there. Let's say that you guys got this wrong. How do you switch it if you find something?
Yeah, how do you fix it?
He said, there is no process for that. So you tell me, where's the accountability? Where's the oversight? By the way, last night, a lot of pipes broke. Dave.
What? I think it was 100% of 86%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what you can say on YouTube. That's what sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Here's all I know. I drove around Detroit to certain addresses, and it seemed fishy.
Yes. Because there was a man who voted named Fishy.
Yes, John Fishy. He lived in a field.
Yeah.
Well, there was a result
that was median on Outer Drive.
Voted twice from a koi pond.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in Michigan, there was a county race that was flipped. Right, they accidentally gave it to the Democrat, and then it actually should go into the
Wayne County itself is going to it's going to usually be Democrat. I mean,
that's
even
what we would
yesterday
expect.
a Democrat won, but a lot of that is white and black. That is where that does exist still in this country, and the fact that Dugan, who's a white guy, took it for the third time is kind of shocking.
Well, you know what though? Can someone bring it up? We'll talk about this on MugClub. Can researchers bring it up? I've talked about this before. I don't have the sources in front of me. Donald Trump significantly outperformed, in major cities with black voters.
Yeah.
In urban areas with black voters, with Latino voters. In nearly all major cities outside of, I think, 6.
Yeah.
Outside of like Detroit, Philadelphia, Phoenix. So in other words, in Seattle, outperformed with blacks way ahead before.
No.
In Los Angeles, outperformed with blacks compared to projections. And then Detroit, whoa, boy, he really screwed the pooch at 4 a.m.
So my favorite, before we move off of this, my favorite result right now was Seattle. That last night they elected a city attorney, a Republican city attorney in Seattle. By the way, if Wisconsin was the place that this was going to happen, if Minneapolis was like the epicenter, this was the second one of the defund the police.
Right?
Chaz, Chop.
I was going to say Chaz must have not showed up to vote.
No,
they were too busy shooting Trump voters in the face
and shooting up.
Yeah, are they making him marry Courtney Love?
Yes.
I just loved it. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
I love seeing Republicans just like put it in your
Seattle.
face.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Beautiful place if it wasn't for the people.
Yes.
Except for all of the crap right in the middle.
Yeah.
Also, get your own
Not.
slogan. Keep Seattle weird. Okay. Austin,
We've had that
like a minute.
for a while.
You get off the plane and it just smells like spoon metal cooking.
I did see that in Chop.
Yeah.
It was
that. Oh, you absolutely did.
I
Yes,
did.
You absolutely did.
Yeah, I forgot you went to Chop.
I tried to.
You partook.
My people.
When in Chop.
Hey.
The B&B.
That's where you guys. I got like an email saying you guys didn't check into your hotel that we booked.
Right? Oh yeah,
because
they were being
2
chased by socialists with guns.
We were going to check into our hotel, and there was literally just hobos everywhere taking shits and doing heroin and all kinds. And we were like, Not gonna stay here. No,
I was panicking. I thought that they just didn't make her. They were lost or something.
Yeah, we thought you were dead.
We gave them a 1-star hotel, right? That's in their contract. Yeah, it's 1 star.
Well, it's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A breakfast in an autonomous zone.
Yeah, well, it's called a cotillion, and it's in Dave's basement.
It was a Seattle steamer.
You have basements in a lot of cities.
There. My basement. I have several basements in different cities. That's the thing. It's not just one basement.
No. You have to diversify.
I'm a basement collector.
Your rape den portfolio.
That's correct.
Because ultimately, the rape market portfolio over time wins out.
It's true. You go to the right neighborhood, you get a basement, $50-$60 a month.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
Need to invest.
No house above you.
Hey, we need Dave to have his own show like Susie Orman. People going, can I afford this basement? Yes.
But what about yes?
Yeah.
All right. So
what would you like to have done to it? That would be great, just to have one of those home renovation shows, but it's just a pervert in the basement.
It's just
what do you want? Sex swing over? Yeah, soundproofing.
Soundproofing.
Put some chains on this wall.
A room for unnecessary surgery.
What would you like? Let's that's the home, the redecorated the flipper. Like, would you like a rustic look? I don't care if I see the rivets. I just want to make sure no one can hear anything.
Yeah. Fine.
That's a lot of mirrors.
Put a drain in the floor.
Yeah. Is that a well? Well, it's a pit. There's not water in it.
Yeah, there's no water. Like, wait, hold on a second. What's that sound you hear from a closet? Oh no, this was not consensual. So
that was one beep. Yeah. It means help.
It means help.
Beep.
Damn it, R2! I told you to learn Morse code.
You just
that would have been a perfect SOS if not for the flatulent sound. Damn it!
Leave him alone. You just hear a gunshot, and then it's like, let me show you the rest of this basement. It's not murder. It's a robot.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of sex trafficking, Elon Musk exposed. Not Elon Musk, but he exposed. Yes. He brought to the attention of a lot of people. It's one of those things where it's like, okay. At a certain point, you can't really parody Alex Jones anymore.
No.
Brought to the attention of people the sex trafficking that occurred at the hands of the UN. So let me get into this first, so I can explain to you the context and what the media did cover as it related to world hunger, and what the media did not cover as it relates to the UN admittedly being involved in basically sex trafficking for food in third world countries. So on Monday, the UN World Food Program Director, David Beasley, appeared on CNN to demand that billionaires, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, more money.
You're asking those billionaires who are going to space, the likes of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, to help. Are they helping?
The governments are tapped out. And this is why, and this is when the billionaires need to step up.
Is that middle-aged Richard
on a
Dreyfuss?
one-time basis, $6 billion.
I don't need this working-class hero
2 million people
I thought
that
Dennis
are literally going to die if we
Wolfberg was
don't
dead.
fix it. It's not complicated.
Yes, that's Dennis Wolfberg. We need the billionaires to pay 2%. So
I don't know why they won't pay it.
I don't know why they won't pay it. No.
Me and you are the only person who knows what we're talking about.
Dennis Wolfberg, that guy was amazing.
He was so funny.
I watched it when I was like, that might be in one of my top 5 albums when we do that tomorrow or Monday. Yeah. So CNN then wrote an article titled, this is the UN demanding billionaires pay to solve world hunger. 2% of Elon Musk's wealth could help solve world hunger, said the director of UN Food Scarcity Organization. Now, Elon responded, and this is what was covered. Then I'll tell you what was not covered, and it relates to child rape.
Yeah.
If WFP can describe on this Twitter thread exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, I will sell Tesla stock right now and do it. But it must be open source accounting, so the public sees precisely how the money is spent. I'm doing an impression of my friend Peter from Belgium. I don't know what Elon.
It works. Like. That's close enough.
No, it was dead on.
Then Beasley responded saying, I can be on the next flight to you. Throw me out if you don't like what you hear. So
they call me the Beezer.
Yeah, they call me the Beezer. This was no boating accident. So Musk, here's the thing. Everyone covered that. And the point that Musk was making, and this is the guy, by the way, who's responsible, this is the ultimate irony, for the ecological revolution with electric cars, which, by the way, are worse for the environment. I don't care. They go fast. That's not
go fast.
The point is, you guys loved him, and now you hate him. And he's just saying, look, the UN wastes money.
Yeah.
It's the same. If you believe that it's the government's job on anything, you believe that it's the government's job to house all the homeless. You believe it's the government's job to provide welfare, to provide free healthcare, to provide free internet, like in Germany where it's a human right. All these things. You also have to go along with the premise that the government is fundamentally capable of performing it. My issue is not with climate change, that it's getting a little balmy. My issue is believing that this 5-page proposed bill, the Green New Deal, would actually work. Let's assume we were actually in an Armageddon scenario or deep impact scenario. You really think the guy falling asleep at the COP26 climate summit is the one who should be helming the ship at fixing it? So that's the point Elon Musk was making. And he drove the point home by pointing out, dropping really a nuclear bomb here, an article about UN officials forcing African children to perform oral sex for food. And he just said, what happened here? That's all he said.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Like, this you?
Is that a crime?
It's a little murky on the rule book.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure.
The laws changed at 3 a.m.
They were hungry, Dave.
Yeah.
Look, I got a lot of rice and a full bag.
Stop it.
So terrible.
Sorry. I make
Only I understand the euphemisms. So this is the thing. Just so you know, this isn't all references are available at louderwithcrowder.com.
It's just so gross.
It is so gross, but it's real.
Horrific.
The link is in the description. Don't take my word for it. UN Chair Marie Deschamps, however you guys say it in English, Deschamps, I don't know.
Deschamps.
Here she is addressing the report, and then I will read from you details about the official report. Child sex trafficking. I don't want to say on behalf of the UN is the reason for it. They screwed up, whether it was deliberate or not in the business of questioning motives. Kids in Africa were sodomized for food because of the UN. Here you go.
This results in a situation where documents pass from inbox to inbox, where anyone can think someone else will take responsibility. In our view, this was a serious failure. Not only did this show abuse of authority by senior officials on an individual basis, but it also highlights deficiencies at an institutional level.
Yeah, it's the abuse of authority that is the real crime here. Oh, no, wait. The sodomy of a young child. That's worse. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems worse.
I don't think he was asking, do you have the authority? No, I think he was more thinking, I'm being raped.
Yes.
Why did they randomly cut to her handing someone a paper?
I don't know. And it looks like she went
stuff around the office.
It looks like she went and asked for the Farrah Fawcett hairdo, but it wasn't long enough.
She's like, here, I made a crude drawing of what they do.
Yes, exactly. You know what? We'll put it in the Virginia school curriculum. What the hell's the difference?
Yeah, why not?
In 2016, the UN published this article. And by the way, the report also stated that 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry. That makes it better.
Yeah. One child was orally and anally raped, to be clear. Oh. And the UN published this article saying that Ban says he holds all senior UN officials responsible for addressing sexual exploitation or abuse. Okay? Well, that's gonna put the fear of God in them.
Yeah.
Now, UN officials, I'm going to hold you responsible, and there will be an internal investigation at the hands of other UN officials. Hey, stop having sex with that kid. We have to do an investigation. He's going to get over here.
Yeah.
The minute he's done.
This is his grace.
You're in trouble.
Trust me, that guy makes a mean mac and cheese. There's a pot of gold.
The UN was just the tech workers from To Catch a Predator showing up with half a foot long from Subway.
Yeah, it's pretty easy at this point.
I was just going to talk to them. That's what he said. He said we would talk in. Where'd you meet him? Chat room? Messenger pigeon.
Just the spokesperson from Subway.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when the UN does, like a resolution or something. Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of this. You guys remember, when that small country invaded this other small country? Oh, Russia literally taking Crimea from the Ukraine.
No.
And having a shadow war with them. Do you remember? So the UN
is useless.
All of its power and wonder did a resolution in 2014, and I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe something happened. No, nothing happened. I was reading another article in 2020, and I had to do a double take because they're like, with the COVID-19 pandemic in the same article, and then 2 paragraphs later, we issue the same resolution that we had.
Right, no, exactly.
Like, whoa, what?
And by the way, this is an example of
7 years later?
Where the left will just try and think that you're gaslight you, right? You're crazy. Where we're saying the same thing. For example, where Donald Trump would go up and say, listen, we should not be a part of the UN, okay? And people go,
yeah.
Can you believe it? Joe Biden, he says he wants to withdraw from the UN. Come on. Well, with the context that they were trafficking children for sex, also let me give you some more context as to why the UN is useless. To be clear, NATO had a purpose.
Yeah.
However, other countries aren't paying their fair share. The UN has no purpose, and other countries aren't paying their fair share. How do you expect these people to care about human rights when it includes China and Cuba? You ever heard some term, you're only as strong as your weakest link?
Yeah.
In this case, you're only as strong as your communist, fascist asshole.
Is it time for Iran to be the head of the Human Rights Council again in the UN? Is it their turn again?
Yeah. Our new UN guidelines are, it's just fatwas. So,
wow, that's rough.
Salman Rushdie, I hope you have a cotillion.
Lots of elevators to tall buildings being put in use, I see.
2020, UN condemned Israel 17 times. The rest of the world, only 6.
Because nothing bad happened to the rest of the world in 2020.
By the way, I picked Al Jazeera as the source there deliberately.
on purpose.
It's funny is they love to criticize the United States for racism and police, but 20% of their funding comes from the United States.
Yeah.
20%. For context, China 12%, Japan 8.5%, UK 4.6%, Russia 2.4%.
2?
Yeah, well, Russia's not going to buy into that.
Come on. They got a lot of gas. They can steal it.
They got a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm sure Putin's going to get right on that. Like, I'm sorry. Czech must have been lost in mail with ballots.
I stabbed someone with tip to poison umbrella.
Yes, that's it. Would you like some tea? Don't worry, it's still bubbling.
Yes. Enjoy hell.
By the way, anybody who condemns the United States for racism hasn't traveled.
No.
Just go to Europe. There's a reason
in
that
Japan,
they wear
they
armbands.
have you're allowed to refuse tenants who aren't Japanese.
I mean, it is absolute mockery. It just shows that you haven't done any research at all. Every single soccer match in Europe, the largest sport in the world, they have no racism bans. They have no racism signs. Do you see that in the United States? No, because it's not nearly as bad. Racism
We
is
don't recognize
horrible over there.
racism in other countries. So, for example, the Japanese and the Chinese. If you look at the level of cruelty. We don't understand because, for example, me and the people you'll see, for example, in the package in an area of South Dallas, Black Americans, we look much more different to the average untrained eye than a Japanese and a Chinese person. But we have a lot more in common. So it's not something other than racism because the Japanese believed they were the superior race, right? They wanted this perfect sort of pan-Pacific race of people. And the Chinese felt the same way about the Japanese. This is the issue. People don't understand. Americans unlike America, very open-minded country, open to people of all walks of life. Like, how about a black guy?
I said people.
Yes, I said read between the lines. Japanese people.
I had to spell it out.
No Chinese, no blacks, no the Japanese people.
So America's a melting pot. That's the reason why we get along with each other, and every other country is a bit racist because they don't have the various cultures. I mean, it's just the reality.
Well, Japan was, for the longest time, based on a racial identity.
Absolutely.
China based on a racial identity. The Nordic countries based on a racial identity. Most of South America based on a racial identity. The United States was not that. And I know that what you will say here, you have the identitarians, and you're right, largely Western white European people who found this country because the values were shared even among the first waves of sort of Italians, Irish Catholics, Jews, Polish people. And I understand that you're saying that's very different from someone today from, say, El Salvador, but we weren't a nation, if you look at our decrees, founded on preserving or forwarding a specific race of people. That's not the case.
Well, in Japan, it's in the language too, right? If you're a Japanese person, you're a Nihonjin. If you're anyone else, you're a Gaijin.
Well, come on. Not everyone who's not Japanese is a female prostitute.
Well, it's a lot like gringo.
No.
I don't know what that. I don't know what it. I thought it just meant white people. Is it derogatory?
I think it's derogatory, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I don't care if you call me.
Someone please tell me so I know when to be offended.
Well,
I needed to
as long as they pay me to drive them over the border, I don't give a rat's patootie what they call
I hear
that.
gringo, I get a little hungry.
I like gringo. I like the word gringo. Get the gringo with Mel Gibson. I like that too.
By the way, they condemned the United States for moving the embassy to Jerusalem, something that Donald Trump promised he would do and did. And in 2020, the UN's, keep in mind, this is also what Elon Musk was calling to the map for, their World Food Programme, French, International, received nearly $8.5 billion in funding. Still lots of hungry people.
Are there still?
Yeah.
Because the tweet said $6
billion.
billion, and we could solve it.
Look how much money from the UN goes to hungry people in Africa versus forced sodomy versus, say, like the Christian Children's Fund, or Samaritan's Purse. Remember Samaritan's Purse went into Liberia when there was Ebola with a 50% death rate, right? So keep in mind, this is the thing. People don't understand that the most effective and the most significant charitable institutions that have ever existed, ever, in the history of mankind, it does not include any international governing body of any kind. It is the American Evangelical Church. Period. Not even close. May not like them. You may think of them as Carrie's mom, but the point is they're doing a lot more than the child rapists at the UN.
Did the Christian College Fund, that was the beard guy with the fly?
The Christian Children's Fund, yeah.
Yeah. Did they do a lot, though?
They did. Well, there's a new, now they renamed it, and I think probably to get rid of Christian. But
well, I don't know, or just have the guy walking through who looks very full.
Yeah.
And he's like, look at all these.
You know what's really going to resonate is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's already eaten the cookies.
Right.
Yeah.
And the deer's carrots.
Walking through with a foot-long sub, just being like, look at these kids with the fly belly.
Really hungry.
You got to help me feed them because, I mean,
I couldn't eat another bite. Someone throw this away. All right, Mikumbo, are you ready? This is take 3.
All right.
Gotta get it right.
Someone get these flies. It's gross. Get them away from my sandwich.
I throw pieces of bread at them like pigeons.
Yeah. Well, not today's bread. I'm not wasteful. Yesterday's bread.
They'll eat anything, these kids.
That's basically what the UN does. And rape. So, cool. I was going to ask, do we want to run this packet? Do we want to run it on MugClub? Because I know we're going over time.
Yeah, we could.
Okay. So let me explain this to people. By the way, if you're watching on Rumble, smash that Rumble button.
Smash it.
And if you're watching on YouTube, consider watching on Rumble. This is something that is, it does come down to, and we're going to go, we have a package where I'm on location, and it's like 20 minutes with people talking about COVID and masks and vaccines. They try and label you, this is something very, very clear, an election denier, a climate denier, right? These are terms. They'll accuse you of being a science denier. And then you can also add other umbrella terms like racist dog whistles, homophobia, transphobia. Let's walk through that for a second. What does climate denier mean? And I do want to hit this here before we leave. So, I'm going to hit this stupid button thing. Because if you buy into the premise, well, then you buy into all that wholesale. And women, specifically women who voted against Trump, are not buying that anymore. Climate denier, what does that mean? Well, let me explain to you what it means for me. And if you look at the videos that I've released, and we're going to do an entire episode on climate change predictions. There was a meme being shared with something like 50 predictions, and there were no sources. And I always see these come across my timeline, and I'm skeptical. And every single one was true. So, oh no, I don't even want to go to see this. So let's go through, okay, you're a climate denier. What does that mean? Let's say you believe in climate change. Can you still be a climate denier according to the left? Absolutely. That's irrelevant. Let's say you believe in climate change and you believe that mankind is even largely responsible. Can you still be labeled a climate denier? Absolutely, that's irrelevant. Let's say you believe in climate change, you believe that humankind is largely the cause of it, but you just don't believe that the federal government or the UN can actually do anything to tackle it, sort of like world hunger. Climate denier. That's all it takes. And then they say, well, why don't you trust our institutions? Why don't you trust the scientific institutions when it comes to climate change? And they throw you this bogus number that 97% of scientists agree, which we've already debunked. It's not true. Then they say, all right, so you're a climate denier. Why are you an election denier? The big lie. Hold on a second. Will they concede that you are not an election denier if you believe in the United States of America and you believe that we have had largely free and fair elections throughout our history? Yeah, of course they can still label you that. That's irrelevant. Will they accuse you of being an election denier or a proponent of the big lie if you accept, for example, that not only have most elections been free and fair, but you even believe that Joe Biden likely won the popular vote in this last election? Of course they can still label you a big lie proponent. That's irrelevant. They label you a big lie proponent and an election denier if you say most elections are free and fair. I think Joe Biden won. I do think, along with a majority of Americans at this point, that some of the anomalies probably need to be addressed, and you can't change the rules right before an election, and I think this favored the Democrats. Boom, you're an election denier. Okay, now we go to you're a science denier. Hold on a second. Will they label you a science denier if you believe that COVID-19 is a real virus? Of course, they'll still label you that. That's irrelevant to the point. Will they still label you a science denier if you say COVID is a real thing and we need to fast track a vaccine. Of course, they'll also label you a COVID denier. That's exactly what Donald Trump and most people in America believed. Will they still label you a COVID denier? And believe me, I'm speaking to the Democrats here. I understand that it might seem as though this is repetitive to you, but Democrats believe that their audiences are idiots, so hopefully this will reach a few of them. So you believe that COVID is a real thing. You believe we need to fast track a vaccine. And you even believe that the vaccine today makes sense for most people, just not everybody. Of course, they'll also label you a science denier. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant to the point. Will they still label you a science denier? If you say COVID-19 is real, we need to fast track a vaccine. I believe the vaccine is good for a lot of people, but I also believe that we should have robust scientific studies of currently available treatments so it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Boom. Science denier. What if you didn't even say that? Said, I believe in the vaccine. I don't believe ivermectin works. I believe there are no treatments available. I just don't think, I've gone along with all of it, I just don't support lockdowns and canceling kids' schools. Boom. You're a science denier. Along with, by the way, half of Europe. So my point is this. If they claim you're a science denier, you're an election denier, proponent of the big lie, you're a climate denier, just explain your position, how much more rational it is than any of the bullshit they're peddling, like, oh, Essex County is going to flip all of New Jersey at 3 a.m. and wear it proudly. I guess at that point, we're all climate deniers, science deniers, and proponents of the big lie, if you at all are skeptical of authoritative institutions with people who've never held a private job in our economy. All of us are deniers. And you know what? I think it's about time to deny. I think it's a good thing. I don't think that progress for the sake of progress is always the best. The credit card's been maxed out. It's time for it to be declined. Don't let them tar and feather you that way. And women, specifically the women who changed the Virginia election and changed certainly the outlook of the New Jersey, this is a time where your voice is clearly being heard. The Democrats, just like with black voters, took them for granted, thought that you were all voting with your vaginas, using the lever, and then playing a harmonica with it. The point is, they thought that's how you voted. And now you said, you know what, we care more in Virginia about our children's education. We don't just believe in abortion up until and including birth. Hey, we can think for ourselves. Have those conversations with everyone you know. Don't let them label you a self-loathing woman or a cold bitch because you don't believe that the government can solve the problem of education in this country. You know how I know they're wrong? Because moms say that they are wrong. All right, let's go. We're going to roll this package when we get here to MugClub. YouTube, thank you very much. Everyone there, smash the like button. Piss off. I'm going to go find some bitches to talk to.